Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
What is going on, everybody? I go by RB, and this is Philly Take with RB. Welcome into Sixers post-game live. The Philadelphia 76ers fall to the Cleveland Cavaliers by a score of 118-94. It was not pretty. It did not look like the Sixers team that we know can go out there on the floor. It did not resemble really anything much at all. It was sloppy. This team did not play good. Joel Embiid was out on this one, and we really just did not connect that well. I don't think we connected tonight. And I really just don't think that this team was able to put it together tonight. But I know there's going to be a lot of people that overreact to this. I know there's going to be a lot of people that say, now we got to trade this guy. Now we got to trade that guy. Here's what I'll tell you. Relax. We're good. We're okay. This is a bad one. This is a stinger. Obviously, around the league, you got teams like the Clippers and the Nets and the Bucks are all losing. Sixers lose. It was a weird night. Overall, this team, we know they just did not play well, right? And again, we can't be coming out here and playing like this against teams like the Cavs. So, the Cavs are a young and hungry team. They're playing hard, but they're a couple years away, right? Even without Joel Embiid, we look for some of our other guys to step up, and we really just did not do that tonight. The main thing that stands out to me is how this team just did not have any floor spacing. They didn't have any flow. They didn't have a rhythm tonight. And whether it was Ben Simmons, who started off hot in the first quarter, had like 9 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, couple steals, couple blocks, and then kind of went silent. Tobias Harris, he started out hot. He had 13 at halftime, and I think he only finished the game with like 17 points. 16 points. Finished with 16. Ben finished with 15, and those were our leading scorers. That just can't happen. We did not have that. We didn't have that component tonight that we needed. And going up against, like I said, a young Cavs team, they got Andre Drummond, man in the paint. We don't have Joel Embiid going against him tonight. Joel Embiid was out for back stiffness, but we know, right? A lot of the stars are not going to be playing back-to-backs because the season is condensed. But I'm looking at Drummond, who has 24. Colin Sexton had his way, 22 tonight. Larry Nance Jr. had 13. Darius Garland had 14. Chetty Osman had 14 off the bench. And every guy off the bench had a bucket. Nobody for the Cavs that played tonight did not score. Everybody was contributing. They were young. They were hungry. It was a good game for them. But overall, it's just, for me, there was no identity. There was nothing going on. We were never in a rhythm tonight. And then on the defensive side of the ball, we were giving them free layups. We weren't playing our hardest. And I know there's fatigue, when you come off a back-to-back. But for the Cavs, they came off a double OT game last night, and they were playing hard. I'm not going to say the world is falling down. I'm not going to say everything's done. I mean, this is one game. The Sixers are 2-1. Now we all know that we're not going to go 72-0, right? We know we're not going to go 72-0. But I think that was obvious. But tonight's a learning lesson. We got to learn from this one. And guys got to get better, and they got to get more in sync. Starting unit and the bench. Shout out to Rob Dredden, man. Appreciate the super chat, my guy. $4.99 says, tough night for my Philly teams. What up, RB? Hope you had a good Christmas. Sixers will bounce back. Hey, Rob, hope you had a good Christmas as well, my guy. Shout out to you. Appreciate the support. And you're right. With the Eagles and then jumping right into this Sixers game, it has been a tough day for Philly sports. There is no doubt about it. It stings. But at least this Sixers team, we can look forward to, and then bouncing back. I think they're going to be just fine. Guys had off nights. I still want to see more aggression out of Ben and Tobias Harris. I don't want to see them fade off like that. Seth Curry had 17 last night, went 2 for 7 today. Danny Green 1 for 2, not really making an impact. And honestly, we're going to have to start talking potentially about starting lineup changes, because I'm not going to say it's time right now, but what I will say is once we really get into our groove here, I mean, Danny Green looks slow. He's not really contributing like that. Seth Curry, he's on and off, so we got to see what he can do. Obviously, if we had Joel Embiid tonight, it'd be a completely different story. But when we're looking at for the bench, man, Furkan Korkmaz 1 for 8. That can't happen. If we are relying on guys like Korkmaz and again dribbling the ball way too much, which I don't like. I don't like that. Shake Milton was 2 for 6, had a bad game, 6 points. Tyrese Maxey had 6 points, 3 for 8 from the field. Dakota Matisse had 8 points, and he came in the last couple minutes for garbage time. Mike Scott had 12 off the bench. Overall, this team just did not play well, whether it was, little free throws or whether it was just transition defense, whether it was pick and roll D. Overall, it was just one of those nights where everything went wrong. But when Joel Embiid is out and things are now getting maximized and you see this, it's kind of like, man, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good at all. But hey, Sixers finished the night shooting 32% from three-point range. They shoot 72% from the free throw line. They got out-rebounded, out-assisted, more steals for the Cavs, more blocks. Every single category, it was a landslide for the Cavs. And the Sixers had 22 turnovers in this game. But at one point, I think it was in the third quarter, they had almost 20. Like, that is just way too much, turning the ball over at a high rate, not getting back on defense. And overall, we fed right into their energy tonight. We fed right into their energy. I didn't like the rotations I saw from Doc Rivers. I was kind of confused. Sometimes had Tony Bradley out there a long time, didn't bring the starters in for a while. He went with that small ball lineup with Mike Scott, and that was for at least 6 to 8 minutes or more. So things got to get changed. Guys got to get in shape. But again, we've been playing together. This team has been playing together for 2 to 3 weeks. So I think it's going to take time, and I think they're going to have to mesh together. But overall, what I will say is let's take a chill pill. Let's see how they rebound next game. We're 2-1, and I'm not mad at it. The Cavs are playing hungry, so shout out to them. and it just stings, because I said at the beginning of this game, Joel Embiid doesn't play. We're fine if we lose, right? It's one game, but it just with the whole day and the whole vibe, it kind of stings. So, it is what it is. But anyway, that's really my take on the game. Tobias 16-9, Ben 15, 6-4. Nothing crazy. That's the thing. That's my main takeaway. I felt like nobody took a hold of the opportunity to become the man tonight. Nobody wanted to become the man with Joel Embiid out, and it kind of stinks, but it is what it is. We'll bounce back. So Toby 4 for 6 from 3. Yeah, well, there you go. He was shooting the ball nice from outside. I thought it was going to be one of those games, those 30-point Tobias games, but he kind of faded off too. This game was bad, says Jonah. Oh, man, my Eagles lost. Hopefully Lakers don't. Can we even trade Tobias? Who would even want that contract? I agree. It's not looking good at this point. It's really not. I don't know. I'm expecting a lot more from a lot of guys. Ben Simmons, again, he's doing this thing where he keeps driving and then passing out. Now, again, Ben is contributing in different ways. It's just not the main ways that people want to see. But, when you're open for a 10-foot shot, when you're open for a 3, you got to take it, man. You got to take it. Connor, what's going on? Kareem says, should have traded for Harden from the start. I knew it was not going to be pretty. Yeah, it kind of felt like one of those games. We were flat. We should have won even without Embiid. I agree. And even if we didn't, I wanted to see more energy. I just feel like we just did not have it whatsoever from the opening tip. And even when we tried to go on a run later on in the third quarter, we really just couldn't get much out of it. And, the Cavs kind of took off. They did not take off any plays tonight. They played hard. No excuses, but look, we got to bounce back. At least it wasn't the Clippers that got blown out. They got blown out by 51. It was crazy. Tipo says Nets lost to Charlotte, Bucks to Knicks, Clippers blown out by the Mavs, Celtics lose to the Pacers, and if Lakers lose, today doesn't count for the NBA. Let's just give it a mulligan. Why not? Sixers been having ugly wins. This is a bad pattern going on. Well, we got to see how they rebound, man. I want to see everyone healthy. I want to give them a couple weeks. Like I said, it's going to take at least 10 to 15 games for us to get in our stride. That's how I feel. We got to have a statement win on Tuesday against the Raptors, and that's going to be a big game. because the Raptors are going to try to play us hard. They're going to try to come with all this energy. So, oh man, let's see what happens. My Mavs railroaded the Clippers for all of the league. I agree. Can I ask a favor? Can y'all beat the Washington for us Cowboys fans next week? We're doing what we can, man. I'm disappointed in the Eagles too. Hi, RB. Ben kind of stopped driving to the rim in the second half. Yeah, he did. He was out for a while, and then when he came back in, he kind of just, I don't know. I like Ben facilitating. I like him playing a lot of, a versatile kind of role, but Ben Simmons has to be better, man. Especially with especially with Joe out. He's got to step up. Shake Green, Harris, Simmons, and Embiid we should try in. Wouldn't be bad. Let's see. RB, how do you feel about trading Tobias Furkan and a first for D Rose and Jeremy Grant? I know this is the start of the season, but it doesn't have to be done right away. I wouldn't mind it. But it's all about the contracts, man. Furkan was another one. Dude, dribbling and dribbling and dribbling. Like, he needs to stop dribbling the ball. He's not a ball handler. And I know it's like nobody wanted to step up, but like, I just didn't like what I was seeing. Nobody was spacing the floor. Nobody was getting open. It's like everybody was handing it off, waiting for the next guy to do it. And I didn't like that. Twitter wants to trade for Harden, shaking my head. Again, I'm not trading for Harden. That's not me. We're sticking with what we have. We got to complement our stars better. And I'm not going to go off of 3 games. I'm used to expecting it now. Like, every game, it's going to be either trade Ben, trade Joe, trade Tobias. Like, it's going to be every game, every night. So I'm just used to it now. I don't even pay attention to it. We still should have done better without Embiid. I agree. We got to be much better, and we got to hold ourselves better. But I know Doc Rivers, and I know our coach, and he's going to come right in. He's going to sit them boys down in the locker room. He's going to say, you know what? We played like crap tonight, but it is what it is. We got to bounce back, and we got to do our thing. And we'll be fine. So I'll be excited to hear how Doc approaches it, especially on the post-game press conference, because instead of coming out, talking around the questions, just answer it. We didn't play good. We play bad. Too many turnovers, not communicating. Passing was off, but we'll bounce back. I agree. Move Ben to small forward, shake the point guard, and Danny to the bench. Yeah, Danny's going to end up with a bench role eventually if he keeps playing like this. I mean, he's just slow. Can't get open. Can't do anything. It's crazy. Even without Joe, Harris should have scored 30. I agree, Scott. And, it's kind of stings because I've just come to accept the fact that Tobias is just not what we think he is. Like, he's just not. And it sucks, but it is what it is. Like, and it's a bad contract. Tobias can be a nice complimentary piece, but it's like he's just too inconsistent, man. He's too inconsistent. I didn't even see really as much pick and roll as I usually do tonight without Joel Embiid, and I think that's on Doc Rivers. I think he's got to get these boys more in the mid-range pick and roll game, especially with Ben, whether it's Dwight or whoever. We just got outworked. I hate that Drummond was working us tonight because I know Embiid would have stopped him, but man, it just stings. It's a bad loss, but we'll bounce back. We're good. We need a lot more contribution, I'll tell you that. Sean McQuesta says, in Morey, we trust he'll find a way to flip Toby's contract. Shout out to Sean. Appreciate you, my guy. I agree. Look, I'm not going to make a statement yet on any of these players. You got to give me 10 games. You got to give me 15 games, 20 games before I'm saying to trade a guy. But if we're 20 games into the season and Toby's still doing this, one night 20 points, one night 15, like, it's just not enough. And for a max contract, I blame Elton Brand. Like, I remember when Tobias got re-signed, and it's just like, I'm like, hey, you got how much money? Like, man, it's crazy. It is crazy. Shout out to Birds Nation 302, man. Appreciate you stopping in and thank you for the super chat. It says for the 299 super chat. It says it's a bad day in Philly. I feel you, man. It's a terrible day. First earlier, and then we jump right into this, and then we just get. I mean, it's been bad, and I guess it's just one of those days. We have those type of days, but man, coming off a back-to-back, it would have been nice to win 2 or at least win something today. But it just stings. Both losses sting. We got to hold ourselves accountable. And we got to come out better. So it stings. And we got a $1.99 super chat from Ask Tipo. Appreciate that, my guy. Says, I have faith in Seth, not Danny. Yeah. I think Seth Curry can be lethal in this offense. And now, look, even if we get 10 games in, I'm honestly thinking I said it before, shaking the starting lineup, Seth coming off the bench. I would not mind it. I would not mind to try that. But I'm still going to give it a couple more games. Again, it's just a bad day. And Danny Green, he just looks slow. Like Seth can at least move around, but Danny Green kind of looks lost. Like I don't see that veteran leadership from him right now. And I don't know. But yeah, man, we'll probably be on here for like 20 more minutes. There's not a lot to say about this. Like, we can overanalyze. Like, no, we just played bad. Like, everything just went bad. There was no communication. I'm not going to say it's concerning. If it keeps up for 5 games, then yeah, I'll say it's concerning. But I don't know, man. Simmons always needs some time to have that 28-point game. And yeah, and so does Tobias. Like, both of them will pop up here and there, but it's like, Simmons has to improve, man. He's got to stay aggressive. Every time Ben Simmons drives to the lane, it's a free one. Like they can't stop him. And I expected him to kind of, get bigger tonight, but especially without Joel. I thought Ben would have a bigger role. I thought he would step up, but again, everyone wanted to delegate. Nobody wanted it tonight. That's the thing. We didn't have heart tonight. The Cavs did not take off any plays, and the Sixers took off most of them. So just sad losing to the Cavs with or without Embiid. Yeah. And they are a nice, young, hungry team, but they're no, the Cavs fans that were in my live play-by-play, they're no title contender. They're no title contender. RB, nice background, my guy. Appreciate it, man. And if you guys are wondering why there's not a lot of people in here, I think I used up the notifications for today, so it probably didn't send out a notification, but it is what it is, man. We're just going to be in here for like another 10 minutes talking. Not a lot to go over. We just got to be better. Every guy was just bad tonight. We got to be better. So if I wanted someone, it would be Buddy Hield, not a ball-dominant Harden who would cost us our future like point guard, our future like PG cost the Clippers in a trade. Exactly. I don't even listen to the Harden people anymore because they just get tiring. Like, they don't even bring logic to this point. They don't want to have a debate. They don't want to have an argument. But I hear you, my guy. Again, I'm not gonna judge the team off 3 games. So we should try to trade for Davis Bertans when he could be traded. Yeah, but it's a lot of money now. It's hard. I bet 30 on the Sixers to win. There you go. That stinks. Yeah, all my parlays got busted today. Toby and Danny Green didn't play good the game. 100% on defense and offense. Flip Toby for Aaron Gordon and a second rounder. It's only one loss, and Doc can figure out what went wrong and play better in the next game. I agree. Got to start seeing this identity on this team. Guys need dog. That's the problem. We need guys that will show up with their heart consistently. I agree. I'm hoping we go on a run and this team sees how they can function well together, to be honest. Philly Insider says pain. That's all. Yeah, one word to describe it. Pain. I'm hyped when they come to Wells Fargo and get what they deserve. And, of course, Joe will play. Yeah, and a lot of people are going to react saying, oh, Joe's already hurt. Joe this, Joe that. That's why I don't listen to those people. Look, he was resting. It was a back-to-back. I see people already saying like there's other stars around the league sitting out too. It's a condensed schedule, so it's okay. Oh, and look, here we got one right here. 2 games and Joe's hurt. See, he's not hurt. He's not hurt, man. I'm telling you. Back stiffness, tightness, whatever. Joe is fine. He's fine. I thought we could lose in a nail biter, but I wasn't expecting this. Yeah, well, sometimes you need a wake-up call like this. So maybe this will wake us up and we'll be all right. Harden and Embiid duo. Even though Danny stinks, I would rather have him than exactly. And that's my point. Even though Danny's costing a lot of money, we can get rid of Danny Green. There was no way feasible where we could get rid of Al Horford, honestly. I hope Morey can find a way to trade Harden for Toby and Morey we trust. If you give me that trade, well, I start to consider it. I really do start to consider it, but I just don't see that happening. Everyone that was supposed to win today in the NBA lost. Exactly. Exactly. It's just a weird day. In all sports, really. Do you think the Cavs won or we lost? I mean, that if the Cavs won, we played bad, or do you think we played okay and just came up short? Oh, no. We played bad. It's both. It's a little both. The Cavs played hard. They have some young talent, but the Sixers obviously contributed by just really not playing like that. We really just didn't do the fundamentals tonight, and we just didn't do the easy things. So, Philly Insider says Flyers soon. I'm excited for the Flyers. I'm excited. They could have ran the same offense with Simmons posting up. Not every time, but I did want to see more of that, and I saw it a few times, but then we kind of just went away from it. I didn't really see the normal things without Joel Embiid. It's a bit concerning, but, we got to see what happens. And I kind of I thought coming out of the half, given the first couple games, I thought we would make a couple adjustments, but we didn't really make anything, and our team just did not step it up. Again, nobody took anything by grab. We just went out there and played the same way all 4 quarters. Embiid's injury problems are concerning. Again, he's not hurt. Bench is kind of weak. Well, we got to give it a few more games to see how that goes. But I think a trio of Dwight, Shake, and Maxey off the bench is good. I like it. So it's just Korkmaz that kills me. And it's not because it's his fault, but it's don't let this man dribble the ball. He's a spot-up shooter. That's it. You hope Simmons and Danny would step up and lead without Embiid, but it was almost like they didn't even show up. I hear you. Chetty Osman and Dante Exum were pissed. And that's what I mean. There's always these guys out of nowhere that just show up against the Sixers. I'm laughing at the beginning of the game. I'm like, Chetty Osman, and I didn't even know Dante Exum was on the Cavs. And they just start balling out. It's crazy. It really is. I can't believe every guy for the Cavaliers scored. Every guy. They played how many? 5, 10, 11. All 13 men scored a bucket for the Cavs. That's crazy. Team needs heart, period, not inconsistency. Embiid needs to come back. I hear you. Hey, for the people asking for wrenches, I'm going to give them some of them out on one of my next couple live streams, so be sure to tune into that. Shout out to everybody that came through in the play-by-play. It was fun, even though it was kind of hard to watch this team, but, man. How many wake-up calls do the Sixers need? Well, I mean, we kind of changed the roster from last season. I mean, we're heading in the right direction. I'm not going to say we're not. Can win all the games. Got to play better all around. Better communication, offense, defense, better coaching. Got to trust they get their head straight and play harder the next game. Exactly. The issue is that Doc couldn't make adjustment with better talent with the Clippers. He's not going to be able to do anything with Simmons' inability to hit a jumper. Losing to the Cavs is embarrassing. Well, losing this way to the Cavs is embarrassing. I'll be honest. I'm not going to say the whole fortress is burning down yet. I just need to see more from my stars. And again, everybody played bad tonight, but there was just no flow in this game. Joseph, what's going on, my guy? Doc is a motivational coach. That one guy, Colin, is a decent point guard. I agree. They abused our centers. Yeah, I mean, every time down the floor, they were just throwing it inside to Drummond. So Toby makes shots when we're down 20, right? Or in the beginning of the game. That's what I'm saying. I mean, Ben and Tobias both had 30 or had 13 at halftime. And I look up in the fourth quarter and Ben still got 13 and Toby has 16. And that's what they finished with. So Ben had 2 points in the second half and Toby had 3. You can't do that if you're stars, man. It could be worse. I'm a Knicks fan. At least we beat the Bucks. That's a good win, my guy. Shake Milton star. Sixers need to do a better job. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm just not going to go and put it on a full limb and just say everything's over, based off this one game. But we definitely got to play better. So Joel is resting. He's not injured. Exactly. My realistic trade, Harden for Toby, Matisse Green, and 2 first-rounders. There you go. What happened to Matisse? He's obviously not injured because he played a ton. No, I'm telling you, I still think he is injured. Now, if we get 20 games in a season and Matisse isn't playing, well, then we're going to talk about it because, something is going to be off. But I'm telling you, I think Matisse is still nursing an injury. He doesn't even look like himself. He doesn't even – I mean, his defensive IQ last year was insane. He was plucking everybody. He just doesn't look the same right now. But that's just me. And again, we heard this is my message for some people. Some people got to chill. Did we not listen to Daryl Morey? Daryl Morey is what we needed on this team. Look, he's not Elton Brand. He's not Colangelo. He's not going to come out here and wait and we're going to have to hope we do something at the deadline. Daryl Morey literally said to himself, I know that man is on the phone constantly. He said, we got to evaluate our team first and we got to see how we play. And then based off of that, we'll evaluate and we'll make some moves. It's not going to be perfect. Doc has said it's not going to be perfect. So we got to chill. The pieces that we need, wherever we got to plug it in, we will make moves. So just relax. This isn't a normal season where we're just going to wait and keep the same roster and hope we thrive in the playoffs. No. Alonzo says, bad day in Philly, RB. I hear you, my guy. I hear you. It's just a bad day. Both teams. And it just stings. That's why this stings even more. Both teams just losing in miserable fashion. So not a championship team, even with Joel. Cavs played with effort and heart, unlike Sixers. Sixers are a team that relies on talent, not heart, which is the problem. Yeah, we need our leaders to step up. And that is one of the things I want to see with Ben and Joe throughout this year. I want to see our leaders. I want to see vocal leaders. And I think Dwight and I thought guys like Danny are going to be a good presence in terms of that aspect. So changes of the roster obviously didn't do anything if this game is like the 567th wake-up call. You do know we're 2-1, right? We won a tight game the other night. We won a tight game yesterday and we blew off in the fourth quarter. Come on, man. We're not 0-5. I just got to get used to it, I guess. I know hindsight is 2020, but I wish we had Shamet so bad. I'm telling you, man. Landry's that guy. And when we play Brooklyn, watch what Landry's going to do. It stings, man. And again, the only reason we paid Toby this terrible contract is because of Jimmy Butler leaving. It was a panic move. And it just was not the right move. It was the right move to resign Tobias, but not for that much money. We just caved in, man. We bet on the potential of Tobias off of an all-star season, hoping he could be that man, and he's really not. So, we're down bad when JaVale makes a 3. JaVale McGee hitting 3s. Chetty Osman is chopping out here. Crazy. Cavs will be the number 1 team in the East. Don't sleep on them. Sixers probably AC. And see, it's Cavs fans like this that are just funny to me. Come on now. Come on. Really? Really? That's funny. I sometimes wonder if people even watch sports, or do they just look at box scores and standings? Ben and Toby sounds like the title of a housekeeping sitcom. Doc had a point guard in Rondo who was similar to Ben, so that was false. Doc can win with the Sixers. They just need to play hungry and with dog more consistently on the road and home games. I hear you, man. Exactly. Like I didn't even see the pick and roll down low or nothing tonight. Like it was just different. It was different. Buster says tired of Simmons running 100 miles an hour down the floor and then being afraid of contact when he goes to the rim. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if you're gonna go full force, if you're gonna drive, and then you're gonna turn around as you're in mid like driving form and then try to kick it out. That's what I don't like. Like, just try to finish, man. But hey, we're going to be on here for like 5-10 more minutes. Let me know down in the comments, what are your biggest takeaways from this game? What is the one thing you were displeased of? Any positives you have, let me know down in the chat. Appreciate everyone tuning in. We're going to be doing live play-by-plays all year, post-game lives, post-game streams, both post-game vids. We're going to switch it up here and there. We're going to do call-ins and a bunch of stuff. So let me know all your thoughts down below. Appreciate everyone that's been here throughout the night. Q says, hopefully we can get George Hill. He'd be nice on his team. Sixers will do something good. Madman says they look like they weren't in sync at all the entire game. Got to have some type of groove momentum to get everyone playing. Exactly. And they didn't have that. Simmons is playing too passive. I hope we win a chip. Eagles and Phillies both underwhelming this year. Yeah, it's been a bad year. 2020 has been a crazy year. Can Daryl Morey run the Eagles too? Matisse has had his confidence destroyed by the very little minutes played in the first two games. I think he's nursing an injury. I'd see Joel winning Defensive Player of the Year, but that's if he's healthy. Never forget we traded Michael Bridges for a guy who almost died from eating peanuts. And a guy, by the way, named Brett Brown, who said we were star hunting. Star hunting. And look, Michael would have been a nice 3-and-D wing off the bench, man. Sixers are a very good team, and Green is good with Curry. I'm going to bed. Good night, Birds Nation. Appreciate you, my guy. Have a good one. Joel may be healthier, but he isn't healthy. Cavs are just raw. Sixers need to get chemistry. Danny Green, we need you next game. Cavs haven't been a threat since they had LeBron. Cavs fans should try a hand at comedy. Exactly. Cavs fans are crazy. They need some type of life because them Browns stink too. Man. Eastwood hates Toby too much. He isn't a bad player. He just hasn't clicked yet. Well, I just think he doesn't live up to what everyone thinks based off what we paid him. Garland and Sexton are upcoming superstars. Biggest takeaway, it's early in the season. I hear you, my guy. JaVale McGee would have been a better signing than Howard. I disagree. I think Howard's going to bring a lot to the team, and I think he already has. My biggest takeaway was Embiid being benched, something I didn't know until the first quarter. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I'm telling you, it's the back-to-backs. It's called load management, so. All teams have had games like the Sixers had tonight. Can't give up and get ready for the next game. Exactly. We got a tough one. We got to bounce back, and we got to play good against the Raptors. Fans overhype Ben too much. Can't believe the majority doesn't want to trade for Harden. Greetings from Brazil. I'm a Celtics fan, but I like your channel. Jefferson, appreciate you, my guy, all the way from Brazil. Shout out to you, man. I don't think Harden's the answer, but we need another star. Yeah, I would love a guy like Levine to come in and compliment these boys, but again, I'm not going to say anything else about this roster construction until we get 10 to 15 more games in. Honestly, like I can't believe people are trying to judge everything off of 3 games. It's crazy. It's crazy. Not saying Cavs are great this year, but imagine in a few when they develop. Exactly. And that's what I said on my other stream. Like, they'll be all right. They're a couple years out, though. They're not an Eastern Conference Finals team or nothing like that. I get that Joe didn't play, but with the talent we had, we still should have won. And we should have played much harder and much more together. So I agree. We need a stretch big like Olynyk or Myers Leonard off the bench so Ben can have space and get to the rim. I don't know about another big, but we do need guys who can space the floor. We're headed to the finals. They're headed to the lottery. Ben is the reason the Sixers didn't go to the finals yet. Cavs fans win a game and think they're contenders. Second biggest takeaway, Korkmaz isn't Steph, even though he's trying to play like he is. Philly insider, my guy. Dude, if you saw the play-by-play, man, I'm getting tired of Korkmaz trying to dribble the ball. Please. And by the way, Tyrese Maxey shot a couple shots, and those were ugly. Like, but at least Maxey's attempting them. You know what I mean? But at least the young guys got some run tonight down at the end. But man, Korkmaz got to stop trying to dribble the ball. Shake looks like he'll be a star player for the Sixers exactly. How about them Clippers, though? Yeah, they were down by 50 at half. It was crazy. Ben's game is goofy. Sixers looking like the 2014 Sixers. Talk to you later. Rough day for the Eagles and Sixers. Yeah, I hear you, man. It's been a rough day, but any final takes, leave them down below. Sixers need their fans back so they can get their home game swagger. I know, right? I know, but we need something. Whether they got to pump fans in there, whether they got to put pedestrian cutouts in the stands, whatever they got to do, man. They got to do something. Korkmaz runs and dribbles like a jellyfish. I'm not a big Korkmaz fan, but like you said, he was fine as a spot last year. Not sure why he's trying to drive and use his handles. Exactly. And if I'm Doc, I'm not letting that happen. I agree. Bad game with bad turnovers. Green holds the ball too much and throws bad passes. I need Ben to be more aggressive to score and cut down the turnovers. Stop putting the ball in Korkmaz's hands. Marky, I hear you, my guy. I agree with everything you said, man. But it's only the third game for your Sixers team, but my Cavs are going crazy. Relax, my guy. It's 3 games. Y'all will finish with like 30-something wins. Come on. Wait till you guys go up against a really good team and see how you guys play. I wonder how good the Sixers will be after a couple years when they get everything together. Exactly. And even if, look, I said it in my video before the season, like this isn't a must-win year, but there's going to be a lot of good free agents next year. This is where we set up we become a destination. We show that we're taking a step in the right direction. We show how Ben and Joe can play with shooters around them, and we'll be fine. We'll be all right. Korkmaz is all over the place. Third biggest takeaway, our city today was Philadelphia. That's a good one, Jonah. That's a good one. RB, we know it's 3 games, but Ben, individual play can be aggressively assessed. Right. And again, Ben's doing things in a lot of different areas, but the one thing that we need him and want him to do, he's still not doing it yet. So look, we got to wait. Now, if we get 20, 30 games into the season and Ben still will not take a regular jump shot, well, guess what? We got something to talk about. But again, it's 3 games. Fan who checks ESPN for score updates. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you guys come into my play-by-play, like, I watch this team in and out. Like, I feel like one game it's trade Ben. One game it's fired Doc. One game is trade Tobias. Like, come on, man. Come on. I don't understand how people can expect a team that has, in the weirdest year ever, with the weirdest offseason, that can expect the team to be put together in 2 weeks and start playing ball. Like, come on. Come on. The energy, the level of energy, the vibe, you're right. But nothing, it's not going to be perfect right away. It's just a bad game. Hashtag Les Moz. It's like Cork has no bones in his body. Bad for Philadelphia sports. Shake's going to somehow leave Philly and become another star. You think so? Oh, man. Sixers made semis with Jimmy. Only was a Kawhi 5 bouncer away from making the Eastern Conference Finals. Bad day for Philly sports. No disrespect to the Sixers, but they're not better than the top of the East. I don't know how you can assess that off a couple games, but if you want to, go ahead. Sixers are average. Ben needs to start shooting, then he'll be dangerous, and the Sixers are going to be really good. Shake and Danny and a first for Levine. Look, if we get Zach Levine, man, I mean, it'd be crazy. We had a lot of bad passes and turnovers. Simmons doesn't need to shoot. He just needs to attack the rim when he gets the opportunities. Yeah, it starts there. And I mean, look, the first game we saw him shoot from the elbow. I mean, we see these little shots here and there. Like, just take it, Ben. Just take it. Do what you got to do. Just watch. Soon Shake is going to have an off night, and someone will say trade Shake. Yeah, and it's going to happen to Joe out. I'm going to laugh when it happens. When Joe has a terrible game, oh, we got to get rid of Embiid. We got to get, like, it's going to happen. And it's like, y'all are calling Cavs trash. I never once called the Cavs trash. I just said they're a couple years out. Sixers are still a good team. They just need to put all their talent together. And besides only 3 games, we'll see how they're good in 20 games. I agree. Dario greater than Cork Maz. Hey, but shout out to everybody for coming out, man. Appreciate everybody. We do play-by-plays, post-game vids, streams, all that in the third. We do it all. Shout out to everybody. Ugly loss for the Sixers tonight. 118-94. We fall to 2-1 on the season. We're now 1-1 on the road. We still got that home record, though. We'll see what happens. We got the Raptors up next. A sloppy game tonight. I did not see really much out of anyone. I want to see more going forward. Got to make better adjustments. Even Doc didn't really have a good night, but we're fine. The Cavs played hard. We got to play harder. We got to show heart. We got to show fight, and we don't really have time to just sit back and really just think about this one too much. We got a couple days, and we're back in action. So shout out to everybody, man. Hope you guys have a good night. I go by RB, Philly Take with RB. Be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and I hope to see you guys on Tuesday, man. Because, hey, listen, on Tuesday night, that we're playing the Raptors. We're doing a play-by-play. When I did the post-game streams last year against the Raptors, their fan base likes to come crazy because they don't have a content creator, so they like to come in other people's channels. So I'm going to need all the love and the energy up in the play-by-play, man, because the Raptors are going to come crazy. I'm telling you. They have a strong fan base on YouTube, but anyway, man, we'll see what happens. Again, just an ugly day in Philly sports. An ugly day, and I'm glad it's over, and I can't wait to move on to tomorrow. Hope everyone has a great week. We'll catch you guys in a few days. And with that being said, I go by RB, Philly Take with RB. You guys have a good one. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.